Do you miss me? Do you miss me? And then close it, Mama. Good evening. I've got a couple of testimonies. Come on in. D. Davis. All right. Sharita started it. It's official. She got the best seat in the house. Hello, Rosalind. Angela. Hello. That's right. Say good morning to everyone. Dawson. Miss you too, Rosa, and the most beautiful little model child ever. Hello, Yvonne. Been under the weather. Oh, Nana, I pray that you recover. Leona. Hello. I was looking at an email from you today. Hello, the bishop. Your family is here. That's right. Good evening. All right. Come on, Anna. Davion. Do you owe me an absent slip? Have you been absent? Lady Latanya, how goes it? What's happening? Hope Lumpkin, hello. Trying to figure out who it is I'm still waiting to hear from. Good evening, Biggs. Can't wait to meet you, T. Daly. All right now. The Daly's representation is in the house. Carlin, hi. Can you email me after this? I want to talk to you about that t-shirt I owe you. Please, I'm not going to be able to rest until I get it to you. Hi, Latoya. You owe me an absent slip. All right, Davion. Sylvia, hi. Angela Copeland. We got a couple of Angelas. Have I seen Angela Minto on here? I don't think she's been on at all. Somebody sent an APB to Angela Minto. Blake. Rochelle, hey, got Daily on Facebook and Female Daily on Periscope. Now tell me how you do it. Jeanette Jenkins, welcome. Rochelle. I see Integrity Force's picture down here. There she go. Well, thank you. I just had a few clients today, and I look elegant, but I'm really not. I got jeans straight down, all the way on. Shamika, I miss coming to your church. What is this that you're doing? I see you keep going live. We do 30 days every January of every year since 2017 where we discuss a topic regarding ourselves, personal development. It's always regarding our soul, which is our psyche. It's about personal development. Hello, Teresa, Jerry Woodard, Keisha Williams, Christine Dawson. All right now. In the first year, we did it on toxic people and toxic lives and being in the background of someone else's toxicity. Last year, we did it on healing and deliverance. And this year, we're doing it on authenticity, finding your authentic self. Self Matters. We're coming from a book entitled Self Matters, written by Dr. Phil McGraw. Hello, I see some new names coming across the screen. Thank you for stopping by. Lori Rawls, Dominique. Hi, Deborah Johnson. Very good. Welcome on, everyone. We're going to get ready to get started. I have a couple of testimonies to read. I see Vanessa's in the house. Very good. Very, very good to see everyone jumping in. Let me read a couple of testimonies. First, I want to start out with, I met a very special young lady who came to our church today. She came in to pick up her book. And while she was there, she, witnessed the ministry of our intercessors and our chief intercessors and prophet. And she had a divine time. I'm going to leave it at that. The story is for her to tell. But when I got there, she shared some of her testimony with me. And she said that through this soul detox, she didn't quite understand because she's lost 14 pounds. How do I lose physical weight when I'm doing something that's psychological? I don't understand it. But she was very happy, of course. Who wouldn't be? I haven't gotten on the scale yet. I'm not fasting this month as our church normally does, but I can guarantee you my clothes are fitting way loose. And it always happens to me when I start digging into the heavy weights, the psychological weights. You can call it spiritual weight. the things that weigh us down, that burden us. Remember, our soul is a part of us that is the seat of who we are. It's the seat of who we are, which means your mind, will, your emotions, your appetite, your desires, your feelings, every traumatic experience, every life experience, every defining moment. It's where your self-esteem comes from. It's where your self-respect comes from. It's where your love or lack thereof for yourself comes from. Everything manifests, personality included, manifests from the soul. So if your soul has been marred by abandonment, abuses, molestation, rape, if it's been mental rape, all these external experiences, they all alter your soul. Then what happens is all the external experiences become internal experiences as we process from the crown of our head to the soles of our feet each issue and how we perceive them to happen and what it means for us. Case in point, I counsel a lot of individuals, male and female both, who have been molested within the family when they were younger, and when they grew up, they had sexual identity issues, and they haven't shared it with anyone, or at least not many people, because they weren't sure if they were homosexual or not. You know, if I don't have a desire for the same sex, why did this individual in the family molest me who was the same sex? Because it's an external experience that gets processes internally, where a childlike mindset tries to weigh out, why would they come to me unless I was gay? They must have seen something in me that was gay. So it even becomes a loss of identity for us, and it becomes a loss of our sexual identity. It's heavy business. It's heavy work, but I think we're doing a great job at it. Hi, Sandra Steele. We're doing a great job at it. So that's why we're here. We do it every January of every year for 30 days. I've been blessed to talk to a couple people today that are finding their purpose through this teaching and believe that they're called to be a coach. And I'm praying that I get the honor to train them how to become a coach in whatever field or capacity they feel led to. It's a blessing. Believe it or not, elders are coaches. Elders are there not to bring dictatorship or rulership. Elders are there to support you in the needs that you have in the local assembly. Instead, when we see leadership and eldership, we take respect, reverence as fear. But instead, when you see the support team in your church, you should think of them as, let's just say, spiritual life coaches. They are there to coach you in the ways that God has called you to come into. And that means all the things that you also have to come out of to get there. So in our church, our elders need to be coaches, and we've been working on it for 3 years. It's not easy, and it all varies with the time that you have to put into it. So that's a little bit about why we're on here. Someone asked what we're doing. I'm glad you enjoyed our services. And but we do this every year. This is separate from the Apostles' House. This is my leg of business. What I do in the marketplace to the world, it has nothing to do with the Apostles' House at all, except that that is the place where I am the senior pastor on most days during the week. So welcome on to Soul Detox. We're dealing with authenticity. My book, let me get the book for you. We're coming from this book because I like to give people a template. I found out when I teach, it's very good information to teach, but when they don't have anything else to refer to, reflect back to, any accountability, you know, a piece of some kind of handout that I've learned to get my teachings together and then find a book that best reflects what it is that I'm trying to teach. And this is the book that we've come up with, Self Matters. I tell people don't pay attention to him because sometimes we take people as a joke because their ministry is on TV. But the book is going to eat you alive. And then it's going to throw you up, and then it's going to birth you. And remember, dead things come out the other end. But things that should never have gone in the first place are what come up. That's why the whale threw Jonah up, because Jonah was still alive. He wasn't a dead thing. This book is going to do all of that for you. You need it. Get the book. But it's wonderful to get the book. If you can't afford it, don't worry about it, because we're going to handle that online. You know, we skip a few pages, some of the personal testimonies. Overall, we've been hitting the book very good. This is the part that I would recommend if you have to choose, the companion. This is the one that has the life application in it. This is the one that's asking you the deep question, such as, name the defining moments in your life. Defining moments. Something that you experience in your life that has altered you to this very day. personally, I gave one. I found 3 major ones so far. I gave one, and it was the day I was pushed in the pool unexpectedly as a joke by other cousins in them. Not only did it cause a fear of water instantly from that day, it has caused me not to trust myself and have fear in every decision that I face in my life up to 30 and 40 years later. That was a defining moment. So you got to list your defining moment. You have to know your 10 defining moments, your 7 critical choices that you have made that has affected your life to this day, and 5 pivotal people that has affected your self-concept. So we're deep. Everybody can't hang, but the one thing I do ask, I plead, I beseech you, is to take one video from these 30 days in January and do one a week starting in February or March. If you need a break, take a little break. But one video a week where you can listen, journal, and start doing the work that is in here. From the assessments and everything on. Hello, S. Danae Hinton. Good to see you on, hun. I received your email, had a great conversation with you today. So welcome aboard. I want to get started. Let's, I'll start first with the drawing. Let's start first with the drawing. We'll do that, and then we'll see who's going to win a book or a companion or a journal this week. Peyton, are you coming in? And then we'll go in and read a couple testimonies, and we'll jump right into where we are tonight. And we are in a very, very good place. I can tell you where we are in the book. We're going to start with, wait till we get up here to connect the dots. But we're going to start right here on page 109. And it talks about conditioning who we are. Conditioning who we are. I think actually we're probably a little bit past that, but we'll be all right. Where's Peyton? Peyton, they want to see you. Very good. Very good. All right. Well, tonight's winner is Elder Manny Davis. Elder Manny Davis. Congratulations. I don't know which you need. I don't know if you need the reading material, the companion, or the journal. I have beautiful journals for the giveaway. They are metallic gold or metallic purple. Can y'all see that purple? It's hot. I'm carrying the purple one right now. And I actually have a very good dear sweetheart who is, she does, what you call it, signature embossing on the covers. And she's going to have these for us at our next Soul Detox convention. And she's going to have Soul RX on them. And we're going to be fancy. See, we're moving, we're moving, we're moving. So, Elder Manny, if you're on, come on, give us a shout. There he goes. He just jumped on. You are the winner, sir. You are the winner. Peyton pulled your name. So let me know. Absolutely. Hide your door. Let me know which that you want. And it is yours, sir. We can handle this for you by tomorrow. All right. Grace and peace. We took care of that business. I am so excited. I am so in love with y'all. I am so in love with life and what we're doing. Because I am being evolving. I am being redefined by this teaching myself. And it is awesome when I actually put myself in a position, the purple is lovely, to put myself in a position to go through this as I'm teaching it. Every other lesson I had already, taught it before. I had learned it before. I just came up here. But this one here, I'm being cut so that I can grow as well. So welcome aboard. First testimony. Y'all know what we do for testimony time, right? So let's get it ready. And away we go. As the days have gone by, I find myself really thinking about those 10 defining moments in my life. The 7 critical choices that are part of my life, and which 5 pivotal people play a part in my life. Trying to track the choices I made. The people that I was around that influenced my thoughts and choices. It's eye-opening! Exclamation point. I found myself looking at a picture of myself when I was younger and saying, where did that confident little girl go? She feared nothing and was ready to do everything. I thought back to the story in the book when Dr. Phil talked about the brand new car in the showroom. The car is nice and pretty while sitting in the showroom, but as soon as it leaves, it is subject to the outside elements, like getting hit. It may get some scratches, just like us. Life events even scar us. You may have some bumps and bruises, but the good news is we can be repaired. Oh, tell me that ain't a shout right there. I can shout on that one. We can be repaired. I've started to get some of my soul work back. We had to ask 10 questions. I was scared to do it, thinking about people's reactions of me. Why? Because the self-concept of this individual is already low, that they are already assuming what people's opinion of them are. Insecurity came in. See, there she goes. She's being honest. Insecurity came up just because you don't know what people are going to say about you. For me, it's hard at times to hear compliments about myself. I had to decide that I need to be a better me, so I needed to do this. I just now want to encourage you to keep going and keep doing what you are doing. Beautiful, and I certainly will. And with y'all help, I know that I can do it. One more. Thank you, Apostle. I can't express enough of my gratitude to you for bringing to us this mind-opening and soul-cleaning, authentic teaching. It has allowed me to go back into my childhood and early adulthood to deal with things that I wasn't aware of that were buried. I've dealt with so much in my life at an early age. 1, lost my father at the age of 13. 2, having to become a mother figure to my family because mom was pregnant when my dad passed away. Thirdly, helping mom to take care of my siblings and practically raise my youngest brothers. I had to cook, I had to clean, and still I had to go to school as my mom returned back to work. There's so much more. I had some regrets because of this. This would definitely cause anger too. My childhood was great, but I had to grow up a little faster than others because of the family. I hear a book from this person right here. She said, I had to grow up a little faster. How about grew up too soon? And share the story. I'm going to help you out to break it in chapters too. I've learned a technique with this. But when I look back, I realized that mom needed me at the time. I realized this after leaving home to be on my own at the ripe old age of 18. I'm the oldest girl with 2 sisters, 1 older brother, and the youngest. I guess I could say this shaped me into the person that I am today. Some things weren't good that I picked up along the way, and I recognize them now. Overall, my mom was stern, loving, caring, and definitely knew how to take care of her spouse and children. If we were poor, I definitely didn't know it because we always had what we needed and so much more. I believe this was a defining moment in my life. Blessings, Apostle. Good for her. Very good. One more. Hi, Apostle. Just wanted to ask you how I should send in my finished soul work. And you can send it right in the email that you sent your paperwork in. info@SuzanneMHoward.com. info@SuzanneMHoward.com. And if you need to take a picture of it from your phone and just email it in, you can do that. Just get it in. And we may not have time to go over it until February and following into March, but we will definitely get to it. This has opened up so many deep wounds that I actually thought I had forgotten about until starting this soul detox. I had my moment of fear and tears during the exercises, and my body feels so numb but yet relieved at the same time. I will continue on this journey because truly I need to find out who I am, my authentic self. Come on, let's go. There you go, Daily. Get free. Come on, guys. All right, come on. This is my last one. Thank you. I got it. Thank you for doing this particular series. It is truly digging deep. I can't wait to see what God has in store for me and meet my authentic self. I took the assessment test today, and I feel a sense of accomplishment. I am committed to the other tests, the work, sharing with my friends and family as well. I also wanted to share with you that I found my number 1 defining moment. After careful thought, I realized the moment I initially thought it was actually was not. It gets real. It gets scary and it gets painful. But I just want you to know that I look forward to this teaching every night. And I think about it as I go about my daily life. I am working tonight, the night shift, and will probably come on towards the end of the teaching. However, I will be on and I will watch #replay. God bless you all for taking the time to write in. We have 4 wonderful testimonies tonight, and we're still working out our 10 defining moments, 7 critical choices, and 5 pivotal people. How deep are we going to go with this one tonight? Well, come on, let's start the lesson. As I stated earlier, I'm going to be reading from the book that's going to help a lot of y'all who purchased the book to actually get through the book. And we've been reading it from the beginning. We're on page 109. My book online said there's about 300 pages. So we're a quarter of a way through, which is good because we only have 16 days left to finish this book and this lesson. So I'm excited. That's right, Biggs. Put them up, put them up. So here we go. Your and my defining moments are the outlines of our lives. If we do not have even some awareness of them, we are blind to ourselves. When we don't know our defining moments, life becomes unpredictable, irrational, needlessly confusing. So it begins to condition who we are, which is the chapter we're starting on now, conditioning who we are. While it may be true that rewards and punishments teach us what to do and what not to do, it is the defining moments that shape our internal behaviors. That's a word you should have written down. Internal behaviors. On Tuesdays, I actually have my personal appointments. Most of my counseling sessions are on the phone. I probably have one video conference, couple, but to everyone else, we're on the phone and we're working stuff such as this book that we're doing now. But it's a program that I have set up for different packages if you want help with passive aggressiveness, anger management, oppressions, depressions, addictions, loneliness. What's some of the other ones we had on here? Narcissism, all of these packages that we have. And we have them set up in 6 weeks and 12-week steps of teaching, instruction, and soul work application. So this one here is really deep. And in exploring this new section that we're doing, when I spoke with someone today, every word that is in this teaching that I've been doing since January 2nd is the exact same vocabulary that I use in all my sessions. And a couple people laughed because they were like, man, you really hitting that book on us hard. No, I believe in it. And I take it serious. It is not the Word of God. But man, this is the work that we need to do with the Word of God. This is personal work, development work. And it's important because when I hear conversations with y'all and I don't hear the language, then I know you haven't grasped the concept. Because when you have grasped a concept, it converts your mind. And when your mind is converted, your language changes. And I should hear such thing as, this was a defining moment for me. Oh, this was a critical choice that I made. These are the people that are in my life that influenced me, good, bad, or indifferent. I should hear from you psychic disfigurement. And you should know what that is. The life chain. What is your life chain? Your internal experiences versus your external experiences. Defining moments. Recollections. Recollections. To remember an occasion. First, it's an incident. Second, it's a result. We've got to take on the vocabulary because this is life-changing and you know it. But to just sit on here as if it's a book club or sit in these broadcasts without any application, you're just sitting in a pew and just letting someone preach to you without taking the application and making it life-changing for you. Because I can spill out data, facts, and information, healing and deliverance, send the anointing forth. But if you're not going to allow it to work in you, then you know what we talked about. We refuse to be the same person this time next year that we are today. We have to refuse that because we are already more than we were 14 days ago. So imagine a year from now. A lot of y'all inbox, I'm going to sign up for consultations twice a month. I'm going to be ready for you in February or March. Make the time and space for it. Because when I call you for your sessions and you sound busy, I'm not going to talk to you. If you're running errands, I'm not going to talk to you. Because this is personal development work. This is healing work. And you have to have that hour set aside. If this hour is important to you, why would you want it to be important to me? This isn't about me. I'm done my work. It's time for you to do your work. And you can't be busy and running around. You have to sit down and consecrate and sanctify this time to be a better you. Otherwise, you're going to be like those other people. I'm waiting on Jesus to do it. Jesus is doing it. And he's provided you with the soul detox doctor. There's a soul practitioner, someone who has been practicing, studying the soul, that is giving you an hour a night for 30 days, giving you 30 free hours of counseling service. 30 free hours of counseling service. There's no way you shouldn't be changed by this. There's no way you should let anyone talk you out of this. And there's no way you can't go back and replay it to work one video out a week until the end of this year. Because it's all about you. So remember, you're under construction. And it's okay to be under construction because of all of these words that we just mentioned. Faith without works is dead. I refuse to be the same. Sanctify this time to be a better you. 30 free hours of counseling service. Don't make me do the math. Hello. So, conditioning who we are. While it may be true that rewards and punishments teach us what to do and what not to do, you know, that's what they do. That's what punishments are for. It is still yet defining moments that shape your internal behaviors. Defining moments anchor our emotional reactions to the world. They determine the feelings and reactions we have to the inevitable stresses we encounter through our life. We have a society of people whose lives are dominated and controlled by life experiences they don't even have a clue about. Today, in one of my counseling sessions, I got a hard hat on for this construction. And you know what? So do I. I'm about to get you on that one too. I love it. I counseled someone today and we talked about bad relationships. And, you know, she wants to know, why do I keep, now that I'm learning about defining moments, what was a defining moment in my life that I keep dating the same guy? Different height, different name, different age, same spirit, same personality. What is it? So we only had about 15 minutes left in the session. So I said, well, let's go. Let's name some defining moments. And we begin to hit that these gentlemen are her mother. They're not female, but she's dating her mother all over again through these male relationships. Y'all can't tell me this stuff is deep. It's like the lights came on. Everybody was home when we hit a target for her. And then we begin to do the life chain. And we found the pattern in her life that now we have disrupted. Now we just have to give her a new course of action so the pattern isn't repeated. This works, y'all. This works. The challenge. In psychological terms, you're about to do some recollecting. You are recollecting when you remember an occasion in terms of at least two ways. First, it's an incident, and second, it's a result. That's right, Anna. Come on. First, it's an incident. Second, it's a result. First, it's external. It's an incident. Then it goes internal, and then it becomes a result. Yep. And we heard for years, you know, you're dating your daddy. You're looking for your daddy. You're looking for admonition of your daddy, affirmation of your daddy, love of the daddy. But some of y'all are looking for mommy, and you're finding mommy in these men. You remember falling down, which is an incident. And the next thing you remember is your mother holding you. That's a result. You remember the dog biting you, and you cried. You drew a picture, and the teacher told you it was good. By themselves, memories pass quickly. Maybe, just maybe, you remember your first butterfly, your first taste of ice cream, your first bicycle. But when the memory has consequences, it becomes a life story. Good. You're taking good notes. Good notes. It's those consequences, that the connections between the incident and the result, that make the memories useful. They become small stories that you refer to later in life. When you feel insecure, you remember the story about falling down. When you're afraid of being alone, you recall the story and the fear of being bit by a dog. For this exercise to be useful, you must require of yourself the most detailed and thorough memory you can muster up. Hey, I only have my ears on. Y'all hearing me all right tonight? Facebook? Y'all ain't did no complaining. I didn't even have them on. Holla. So for this exercise to be useful, we're getting ready to engage in exercise. You must require of yourself the most detailed and thorough memory you can muster. Features, facts, circumstances, and emotions must be as clearly described as possible for you to come away with the depth of information that you need. For the depth of information that you need. I'll repeat it again for you. For this exercise to be useful, you must require of yourself the most detailed and thorough memory you can muster up. Features, facts, circumstances, and emotions must be as clearly described as possible for you to come away with the depth of information that you need. For example, I will be asking you about physical aspects, such as where you were at an exact moment, what you were smelling, what you were tasting, how your arms were positioned, what your breathing was like, and so on. And guess what? We're doing this without any hypnotism because your soul already wants to speak. You just need someone who can dig in the gut, anointed vessel, and tap on that well until that oil begins to flow. It's also challenging for you to recall the emotional and mental states you were experiencing. So get ready for questions like, what emotions or change of emotions did you have at this time? Were you confused or eager when this moment happened? Did you feel as if you were going to die? Were you in a mental fog, or were you clear-minded? Did you feel love, or did you feel hate? Don't feel uncomfortable. However, if you do not have recollections of defining moments for each age, because a lot of people say, well, I can't remember. I'm one of those. It will come up. These events happen at different times, often many within a small period, depending on the circumstances of our lives and our personal challenges during those times. And don't feel bound by the short description that I've provided as to each stage. The point is simply to stimulate your thoughts with some general observations about different stages in your life. Those general observations may or may not apply to your particular life experience. So don't be textbook about it. Just let your spirit and your soul process all the data information that's been in you for thousands and thousands and thousands of days. Now get some form of a journal that can hold many pages of work and that is intended to be totally confidential and for your eyes only. As with the other exercises in this lesson, you don't necessarily have to block out a huge chunk of time for doing all of these questions in one sitting. They can be done piecemeal, age group by age group, as time permits, but they do require 100% of your concentration and focus while you are doing them. Find a quiet spot that affords you some privacy, a confidential, comfortable place to sit, and some uninterrupted time. In other words, turn off the television, send the kids to bed or out to play, and get alone by yourself. So we're going to start now with ages 1 to 5. For you and your memory between ages 1 to 5. I'm going to just read this part over to help you remember what it is that we're doing. I want you to block out a huge chunk of time over the next 3 days. So you're working on like 3 assignments right now to go over these particular areas in your life. Don't feel bound, but these questions are to trigger emotions or a change of emotions. You got to pay attention. If you're having an emotion or a change of emotion, what did you have at this time? Were you confused or eager when this moment happened? Did you feel as if you were going to die? Were you in a mental fog, or were you clear-minded? Did you feel love or hate? So we're going to that actual place. Age 1 through 5. Let's go. Typically, recollections of these years and their outcomes focus on interactions with other family members or the early trials of growing up, like playing games, going to nursery school for the first time, or learning to sleep in the dark. Learning about the aging process, noting that some people are old and others are younger, may also prove to have been important to you. This is where your mind is evolving between the ages of 1 to 5. Now, begin writing about whatever recollections of these years stand out in your mind and in your heart. I just wanted to give you a quiet moment so you could think and not keep hearing my voice. Begin writing whatever recollections of these years, ages 1 to 5, that stand out in your mind and heart. We are looking for defining moments. So if you already have a clear target event in your mind, go right to it and start answering the questions. If you are not clear on a standout moment, don't assume there aren't any. Just start writing and recollecting. You might surprise yourself and discover a moment that you had suppressed or were in denial about. Be sure to note as many details of each incident as you can. Use the following questions to guide you to those details. If you will try to observe each event as if you were a third person, like a reporter who is writing things down on your behalf, this process will make it easier for you. Here's the work. Taking up the first moment you have selected, relax and allow your mind's eye to roam freely over all of the details in your life going back to age 1 to 5. As you experience and re-experience that incident, let all 5 senses play a part in your search for information. Here's the questions. We got 10 questions we got to work through. And these 10 questions are going to work for all of these stages of life. Consider these questions. Where are you at this moment? The memory just showed up. And where are you in this moment of that memory you just had between the ages of 1 to 5? Number 2, how old are you? What do you look like? Number 3, who is there with you, or who is supposed to be there with you? Number 4, what is happening that makes this moment so significant? Number 5, what emotions or changes of emotions are you experiencing at this time? Is there loneliness, anger, fear, confusion, joy, power, hopelessness? You're thinking on a specific event between the age of 1 to 5. Number 6, how would you change this situation if you could? Get the case of paper towel because I will need it. Number 7, what is your mental and physical experience? Are you in a mental fog or are you clear-minded? What do you smell? What do you taste? What do you feel? Are you happy or sad? Are you in pain? Are you weak or are you paralyzed? Think about that moment you're in right now. And if you could speak to someone at this moment, who would it be and what would you say? Number 9, what are you saying to yourself? And 10, what do you need right now more than anything else? Tears are flowing. Hi, Prophet Torn. We're on a 30-day journey. We're 14 days in, so you might not be able to understand what we're doing right now. Get some ginger ale. Once you've written answers to these questions for one important incident during this life stage, do it for another incident in the same stage. Take whatever time you need to recollect and write down as many of these moments between your age of 1 to 5 as possible. Then once you have written and observed yourself in all 10 aspects, now you're going to take each event and you're going to answer the following questions. How do you feel now? What emotions are you having now? What are you telling yourself about these events today? I see the tears, y'all. I'm here. I'm here. We're all right. What power and self-determination, if any, did you lose to this event? If it was a negative event, if it was a positive event, what did you learn or what did you gain? You're 1 to 5 years old. No hypnotism. Just on purpose. Planning. Completely in control of yourself. Go back to this age between 1 and 5 and let's deal with those questions. 10 questions. And then with all of the incidents, the defining moments that you listed, how do you feel now? Take your power back from that moment. Number 2, what emotions are you having now? Number 3, what are you telling yourself about these events today? And fourth one was, what power and self-determination, if any, did you lose to this event? If it was a negative event. If it was a positive event, what did you learn or gain? On purpose. No hypnotism, no trickery, no mysticism, no out-of-body, universal, time travel and higher being exposure, no namaste, no drum beats and no humming. In your conscious mind that God gave you, take the time to go back to that place between the age of 1 and 5. Write down a moment that sticks out in your life. It was a defining moment for you. It defined you. It marked you positively or not so positively. And then I want you to weigh it through the scale of 10. And then I want you to bring yourself current and weigh it through the scale of 4. If it seems confusion, don't worry about it. I'm going to have people to help you out. If you want to call in tonight or tomorrow, I'll have people that can help you out and just make sure you're going through them accurately. And they'll stay on the phone with you until you work through it. It's all right. Periscope, are you all right? You're real quiet over there. Facebook got a whole lot of tears going on. But I'm not hearing anything from y'all, so I'm hoping you're all right. I'm praying for you, Rochelle and Deborah and Denise. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you, Shamaniat. I'm praying for you, D. Davis. I'm praying, Leah. Come on, I see the tears. I'm praying for you. I prayed before we got on because I'm ahead of you and I know what the lessons are bringing forth. Absolutely. Yes, come on, Biggs. Absolutely. 1 to 5. Eagle vision is good. And I think between the age of 1 to 5, I don't know if I remember anything between the ages of 1 to 5. So it's going to take me a little more research, a little more digging, I guess. I'm thinking I had to have been over 5, but I guess I'll put it in the 1 to 5 category. I can remember going to work with my mom. She owned her own business. She had a cleaning business, and I was a wanderer. I like to talk to strangers. I like to go and, I love nature. So I'd go exploring in people's yards, and she got tired. She couldn't watch me and clean the businesses that she had for clients. So she had a leash. We had leashes back in those days, and it wasn't DCF, and it wasn't illegal to do it. And she put down the tailgate on her station wagon and put the leash on me and tied me to the back of her car. And I remember that. The thing is, I don't remember it being positive, and I don't remember it being negative. But I remember being tied to the back of her station wagon thinking, what is this? So I'll have to wait and see if that was a defining moment for me. How has it affected me today? And you know what I learned, church, is some of my defining moments I talked about with my girlfriends, and they said, well, you know, this is what you do today, and this is what came to my mind. Sometimes talking it out with other people, say, you know, I have this memory when I was little, and I'm not connecting with anything bad or good, but it's there, and I just don't know why that one memory, I don't remember anything that led to it. I don't remember anything after it, but it's there. It's the only memory I have. Can you see any link in this? And just see what they say. The people around you may be able to say, that's why you're so wild, because your mother tied you up, and now you ain't going to sit still for nobody ever put you on a rope again. It could be anything. But I don't know what that defining moment was. And, I'm very cautious of my granddaughter. I'm constantly calling her name, constantly watching her. I check in the middle of the night to see if she's all right. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, or it's just because of the crime channels I watch and I see how sick these pedophile monsters are that I refuse to let something happen to her on my watch. And then with all the counseling and coaching that I do, and I hear the stories of, the great provider boyfriend raping the children, dad and the grandpa raping the children, that I just, I keep an eye out on the eyes, So, I'm going to continue to keep watching and paying attention to that one. But 1 to 5, I don't think she would tie me to a car at 6 to 7, because I probably would be able to untie it at 6 to 7. I mean, I look at Peyton, she would be able to undo a leash if I tied her to something. So I'm thinking I probably was maybe 4 or 5 or 3 years of age. But I don't have a good or bad memory. I just have that defining moment. So I'm just giving you an example, trying to stir up some things in y'all. Thank you for the hearts, Vanessa. I see y'all over here doing a little work. Yep, absolutely. All right, so age 6 to 12, we'll hit this one and then we'll be done for tonight. Ages 6 to 12, you're going to work the same formula. I'm not going to repeat it again, but what I will do is get you a copy again, and I will put it on the blog, and you will be emailed tonight, and it will be on the website as well. Now listen, the pages are up there as a courtesy, just to help you out. I'm not making a business of this. I'm looking for some team people who want to work with me on Soul Detox that maybe can do some of these things for me. I can teach you our technology. I can teach you our computer, hook you up with the website, but I need a team. So I can't be responsible for giving you professional excellence, because I shouldn't have to do this anyway. You all should be responsible for this. But as a courtesy, I'm doing it. So it's your job to work out as best you can after that. Because I'm telling you, none of my mentors would have done this for me. You signed up for this, and I need to see your investment in it, in not just in your coaching fee, but in your commitment of you're serious when the phone calls. My mentors would not coach me if I was running around grabbing lunch or in a drive-through. They wouldn't coach me. Let's reschedule the appointment. And I'll be offended. But then I was realizing they were taking my life more serious than I was. I figured because I paid them, I'm in control. If I don't want to deal with it today, then hey, I don't have to deal with it. But this is how serious coaching and counseling is. And I need to get that same investment from you, because you cannot make my brand, my coaching and counseling business look like it don't work, because it works. Amen. All right. Ages 6 to 12. These are typically the grade school years when the teacher replaces the parent for the first time. And you have a lot of sibling types to cope with now. Although you may have been top dog in your family, the favored one, daddy's little girl, or maybe even the black sheep, you now have to prove yourself in school. With this new group, where were there defining moments for you at the ages between 6 and 12 in these years? Look back at the 10 questions we used for ages 1 to 5 and answer those same questions with reference to this age bracket of 6 to 12. Remember to write your answers with as much precision as possible. Then answer in careful and thorough writings. Once you answer the 10, pay it forward. How do you feel now? What emotions am I having now? What are you telling yourself about those events now? What power and self-determination, if any, did you lose to this event? If it was a negative event, but if it was a positive event, what did you learn or what did you gain? And we're going to do the same thing for age 13 to 20. And I actually got time because I don't have to read the 10 over and over again, but I will upload it for y'all. Ages 13 to 20 is a year of turmoil and frustration, often characterize the teenage years. This is when we learn about being an adult, breaking away from the family and finding out what a big deal there is about sex. New motivations enter your life. Social relations become more important than food. There may be an acute sensitivity about whether you belong to the in crowd. However, that group is defined for you. Love can be a major source of confusion. Forms of initiation of rites of passage may mark the struggle for this adulthood. With varying degrees of focus and concern, your thoughts turn towards your future. What were your defining moments from these years between the ages of 13 and 20? Recollect them, then write them down, using again the 10 questions to stimulate your thoughts. Include as many details as you can. Remember to identify the people who are involved as well. As you reflect on these, once again, run them by the 4. Now this, guys, you may not finish this week. And as we read by the author, he said, it's okay to piece it. Ooh, you're at work, or ooh, you're driving, or you have a dream, and 6 months later you remember something. This is life work. So don't feel rushed to do it in 3 days. Don't feel rushed to do it. There's some things like the congruency assessment that needed to be done right away. The authenticity assessment that needed to be done right away. But this right here, we can work it out. I've got someone on Periscope says ages 6 to 12 and 13 to 20 are too painful, too hurtful. And that's why we've got to go there. This is life work. Ages 21 to 38. This is typically the stage in which people begin their lives as citizens of the community and take on the responsibility of jobs and families. We begin the task of learning how to be parents ourselves and how to become a partner in life. We are often confronted at this stage with our lack of knowledge on a number of fronts, such as power and self-discipline. The challenges we face may give us a newfound admiration for our parents or the other role models we recall from childhood. Let the same 10 questions prompt you to write a detailed and thorough recollection of these years. Write answers for as many defining moments from this period as you can. Again, remember, how are you feeling now? What emotions are you feeling now? What are you telling yourself about these events now? What power and self-determination, if any, did you lose to this event? If it was a negative event, if it was a positive event, what did you learn or gain? Now for all our 39 to 55-year-olds, let's go. This age span is usually a time when you begin a new era of life. You are usually settled into some vocation and you have a pretty good idea of what life will offer you in the future. Wealthy or not, you may be living in a situation where you know you will be there for a long time. You have done most of the things you needed to do in order to participate in your community. Now begins your time, the time in your life in which you can pay more attention to yourself. Allow your mind to travel over these years and see what comes up. For each recollection, consider the 10 questions and respond to each in writing. As you look at the answers you've written, then remember the 4. And the last part, thank you, God, we'll finish it all tonight. Age 56 and beyond. Somebody says, I'm a hot mess. But you won't be after this. You'll be hot, but you won't be a mess. Age 56 and beyond. While the age of 56 is by no means the end of life, for many this age brings thoughts of retirement from work and release from the responsibilities of community and family. We begin to lose some physical vitality and are confronted with more limitations. Many of the defining moments in this stage of life emerge in the context of relationships, turning over responsibilities to others and getting to know others in a more intimate, less competitive way. What recollections stand out for you from these times? Again, I remind you that these memories do not have to do with the issues that I've presented, but with what stands out for you. What was the important thing that he said earlier that I wanted to write down? If it's important to you, then it's important, period. That's right. Many of the defining moments in this stage of life emerge in the context of relationships, turning over responsibility to others, and getting to know others in a more intimate, less competitive way. What recollections stand out for you from these times? Again, I remind you that these memories do not have to do with the issues that I've presented, but with what stands out for you, regardless of the time or place. As you think of these moments, answer the 10 questions as before, and then finally, once again, measure it to the 4 steps of today. Woo! How are we going to handle this? It's important to you, then it's important, period. That's right. Okay, Facebook, Periscope got a few minutes left. I don't know what Periscope has, but I think I'm going to stop there. We'll start tomorrow with connecting the dots. Connecting the dots. We'll go over the writing. Hopefully some of y'all will email me something that you got from the defining moments, at least one, and measure it up to the 10 and then to the 4. So tomorrow night we'll look over our writing. We'll examine the age brackets again and see if there might be any defining moments that you've overlooked. By the same token, is there a defining moment that you have avoided talking about? I'm going to double that woo. Remember that monsters and ghosts work in the dark. This work that you're doing is designed to help you flip the switch and turn on the floodlights. So have the guts to get all of your defining moments out there on the page. Refusing to do so, putting your head in the sand rather than confronting those moments, means that you are cheating yourself and your loved ones. You cannot conquer what you will not confront. If you have done an honest and thorough job of the exercises, you have defined some very important times of focus. You have identified moments that have been extremely important to your experience of life, your history, and to the development of your self-concept. These are the building blocks with which all of your perceptions about life stand. Now is the time to link up those defining moments and see what emerges as the foundations of who you have become. When you try to look out and evaluate your entire life, it can be overwhelming. So much time to consider, so many things to recall. Instead of asking you to undertake that daunting task, what I want you to do now is evaluate your life and the impact it has had on who you have become by reviewing only those key defining moments that you have just detailed. Let the following steps provide you with the structured approach to getting a handle on this important personal history. And that's what we'll pick up tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to connect the dots. Have fun. If you get 1 for each year, you have done very well. If you give me 1 period for any year, you have done very well. Thank you, Apostle, so much. This teaching is mind-opening. Life can be overwhelming. Thank you, Apostle Suzanne Howard. These sessions are making a difference, and the changes have already begun. Praise the Lord. Overwhelmed. It is so much. You cannot conquer what you will not confront. Turn the floodlights on them demons. This work flips the switch and turns on the floodlights. I'm flipping the switch. Wow. No avoidance. Great teaching. Thank you, Apostle. Think I was numb to a lot, and that's why our memories are blank. Good night, Apostle. Got to go to work. Holla, Biggs. Be safe. It's important to me, so it's important, period. Somebody has vomiting on the screen. This is a lot. Connecting the dots. Well, we've done our work for tonight. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for getting on. Do your work, guys. Remember, cut down a lot of the social activities this month. Don't worry about fasting so much from food. Fast from your lifestyle. Fast from the social media. What am I asking you to do? Forget fasting from food. Consecrate this month to work on the development of you so that you can have a better relationship with the Holy Spirit, so that God can be glorified through your beings. People can recognize him. You're able to love other people, minister to other people. You don't have a problem with forgiving other people because you found your defining moments. We connected it to your life chain, and we're going to tear the rest of this kingdom down that was built up that should have never been there. It's all right to cry, but we got this. Thank you, Denise, for even sharing that. Tears but cleaning. Good night. I love you all. Thank you for your time. I'm excited for you. I've got to get off and start writing my defining moments by my age bracket. Well, come on, let's go. We know how we do it. 3, 2, 1. I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. God bless you, and good night, everyone.